In every Toastmasters meeting, we will have 3 segments: prepared speeches, table topic segment, and evaluation segment. However, to make our meeting more special, today we will also have an educational session that will be held before the prepared speech segment, about which we will know in detail in a short while. But before that, I would like to introduce the General Evaluator of today's meeting. Well, this man needs no formal introduction, as he's one of the most known faces of District 41. Yet, I have the honor of introducing him formally to everyone. Distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal is an electronics and communications and education technologist with 16+ years of experience across top IT organizations, including Cisco, Wipro, and IBM. He is an IBM accredited IT professional with 2 Brandon Hall Awards and 8 Service Excellence Awards to his credit. He is also an author of 11 titles, several of them being amazing bestsellers. This includes India's first composite novel, Crossed and Knotted, that garnered him an entry into the Limca Book of Records under literature. In Toastmasters, he has played several leadership roles in the past, including that of an executive committee member, 35 times, area director twice, division director twice, Pathways ambassador, Pathways guide, and district newsletter editor. The list just goes on. This former district champion of table topics is usually referred to as a champion of club support, having sponsored, mentored, coached more than 20 clubs. He is currently serving District 41 as District Administration Manager. Personally, I adore and respect him from the bottom of my heart, as he has been one of my most honest mentors in my journey to District Championship last year. So without further ado, let me welcome Distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal to take over as the General Evaluator of today's meeting.
Thank you, Dhonnobad, Namaskar, Namaste, Salam to all of you across countries. It is my honor and privilege to be the General Evaluator. Now, in case you were wondering, what is the role of a General Evaluator? Why do we need someone to come and generally tell us things and not specifically tell us things? Well, let me remind you, we all need to find out more about our reflection. We all seek that mirror, maybe not like an evil witch who goes in front of the mirror and says, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? But just to find out more about ourselves. So today I'm going to act as a mirror and try and reflect back to you what you yourselves are doing. Is it good? Is it bad? But I will not do it alone. In the same way that a mirror has so many elements, today I have certain people who will help me. But before that, I ask you, what are the elements that make a mirror? What are the elements? What's like the basic thing that you require in a mirror? Any suggestions? Maybe what? Glass?
Glass. Yeah, the glass.
Glass, yeah, perfect. So we need glass. And you know what happens with a glass? You actually coat it with silver. It is given a silver coating, which is what turns an ordinary glass into an extraordinary mirror, that coating of silver or the coating of mercury. And today we have someone like that in our Toastmasters meeting, whose job is to find out the silver lining and to not sugarcoat, but tell us the truth and make us understand that what is silver and what is gold, how to be honest and how to be bold. And to do that, I have with me the grammarian. Today, the role of the grammarian is going to be played by Toastmaster Rezaul Ahmed. Now, Rezaul is, I hope I'm not pronouncing the name wrong, is a law graduate from the University of Chittagong, which is one of the biggest universities in Bangladesh. He's currently working as an advocate in Chittagong Judges Court. He's also serving Chittagong Club Area L1 as a secretary. He loves traveling. So you see, I am type of the district secretary and he happens to be the area secretary, and we both love traveling. I don't know whether sound travels faster or light travels faster in this situation, but definitely he's going to have a lot of silver linings for us. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about your role, Mr. Grammarian? Please welcome him with a huge round of digital applause.
Good evening, everyone. How are you all?
Oh, you're very fine. Good, great, awesome.
As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to listen to everything said during the meeting. and to take notes of any particular effective uses of grammar or any grammatically incorrect speech. So it is also my responsibility to present word of the day. So for today's meeting, the word of the day is foster, which means to encourage the development of something. An example of using the word of the day is Toastmaster meeting helps us to foster our communication and leadership skills. So I urge all of you to use the word of the day in the speech. So I'll be back with my report when called for. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. And just so you know, because it's a digital environment, at least do this thumbs up so that we can see that you're appreciating the word of the day. And also Rizal will not just tell us about the good usages, he will also tell us about the not so good usages, so that we not only know what is it we are doing well, but also what is it that we can do even better. Isn't that what reflections are about? But we have talked about a glass. Now, what else ensures that like if I'm looking at all of you right now, you can see me, but what if I'm looking like this? Are you still able to see me? So what is it that is there in a mirror that ensures that you know exactly how things are? The frame, right? In a mirror, you have a frame that ensures that if you know
Yes.
where is the frame and you have to look inside and within the frame, only then will you be able to see your reflection. If you don't look within the frame, you will not be able to see. So we have someone like that in the Toastmasters meeting, wherein you will be told about your frame. He's not here to frame you, but he's going to be here to tell you as to whether or not you are within the limits, and that is the timer. So today, the timer is someone very special. Why? Because when I first visited Chittagong, I actually had the opportunity of evaluating this person, and thankfully we were both on time. And from that day, I realized that if you want to ensure your time is right, you must go to someone like him because his career is very bright. Today, our timer is Mohammad Arif, a student who is currently studying computer science and engineering at International Islamic University in Chittagong. He's also serving as the Vice President Education of Chittagong Toastmasters Club Area L1. So what is common to both of us is he as well as I are both engineers. And of course, in the Indian subcontinent, you're either a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer or someone who is going to make their children an engineer or a lawyer or a doctor. So without wasting much time, over to you, Arif. Why don't you tell us how exactly you're going to frame us today?
Hello, good afternoon again to everyone. So thanks Toastmaster Ayan for introducing me. So I am the timer of this meeting, and I will check if everyone is within the time limit they are given. So to help me with my timing, I have three colors with me that is, if you can see green, and then yellow, and then red. So I hope you, while you are speaking, you pin to my screen, and if and also I'll share in the chat that there's green signal is going on, and then the yellow signal is going on, and red signal is also going on. So today we have three prepared speakers. The prepared speaker timing is 5 to 7 minutes. So I'll be showing green at the 5 minutes, I'll be showing yellow at the 6 minutes, and I'll be showing red at the 7-minute time. So for table topic speakers, the timing is 1 to 2 minutes. So green at 1 minute, yellow at 1 minute and 30 seconds, and red at 2 minutes. For our evaluators, the timing is 2 to 3 minutes. So green at 2 minutes, yellow at 2.5 minutes, and red at 3 minutes. And we also have an educational session for today. So the timing for the educational session is 10 to 15 minutes. So green at 10 minutes, yellow at 12 minutes, and finally red at 15 minutes. That's all from me. I'll be keep coming again at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we have a huge round of applause, physical or digital or thumbs up for Arif? And I love your background. I'm going to talk more about that later. So yes, you have a frame where that glass, which has been turned into a mirror, is hanging. But now try to imagine if you're looking at a mirror that was cracked from side to side. Would you like it? Would you really get a true reflection, or would you get so many like bits and pieces? So we have someone like that in the Toastmasters meeting as well, who ensures that all these cracks in our speeches are observed properly. Now that person is the R counter. Now, I would like to introduce you to the R counter. Our R counter today is Ali Murtaza, who is currently studying MBA at the Government College of Commerce in Chittagong. He is also serving as the director at AIMS Care and is the proud secretary of Chittagong's Speech Masters Club from Area L1. Now, what I really like about this gentleman is once I had the opportunity of all of us sharing dinner together when I was in Bangladesh, and he's a foodie just like me, which I really like. But more importantly, he's a part of a club which I was a part of, and it when it opened up, and I'm very happy. And I look forward to seeing how he's going to find out all the cracks that we have so that we can overcome them to the best of our ability. Over to you, Mr. R Counter. Can you please welcome him with a round of physical and digital applause?
Thank you, Toastmaster Ayan Pal. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. I am acting as an accounter in today's meeting. As my responsibility, I will note extra words and sounds filled by evaluators and speakers. Extra words like inappropriate word, as, and, but, as well as extra sound like and word repetition, etc. I will come back with my reports at the end of the meeting. Thank you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. And Ali Murtaza, one small request, also note that for table topic speakers and important role players, because we all need to improve, not just when we are delivering prepared speeches, also during impromptu speeches, also during role players. I know it's very difficult, but you are the one who can help us reduce the cracks. So we have talked about a frame, we have talked about a glass that is turned into a mirror, and we have also talked about the cracks in the mirror. But before we move forward, can we give him a huge round of applause? Thank you so much. And now that one last thing without which none of this will work. What is that one most important thing that turns a mirror into the reflecting device that can truly reflect?
You yourself.
General Evaluator.
This light. If there is no light, no mirror can help you. So at the end of the meeting today, I'll come and shed some light into whether you were bright, or you are in a situation tight, or whether you're weak, or whether you might become mighty going forward. But before that, I would like to hand it back to the angelic Toastmaster of the day, Nusrat. Back to you, Nusrat, and please welcome her back with a huge round of digital and physical applause.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal, our general evaluator for today. I just love the way he plays with words. He is such a good player of words. Okay, now let's move on to the much awaited educational session of today's meeting. Well, I have knocked this person several times on Facebook, asking questions as silly as, can we place a logo, Toastmasters logo this way? Is this font appropriate for the flyer? Can we promote ourselves like this on Facebook? And every single time he has so patiently answered every single query of mine. I'm sure many of you tuning in today also have had many such queries related to the use of Toastmasters brand. So who better to hear it from but from the district PR manager, Ankur Yadav, distinguished Toastmaster Ankur Yadav himself. Well, distinguished Toastmaster Ankur Yadav has also previously served as a President's Distinguished Division Director 2018-19, Area Director 2017-18, and Club President and Treasurer 2016 and 17. He is a chartered accountant by profession and loves listening to music during his free time. So let's not waste any further time. All VPPRs, please get ready with your pens and paper. Let's give it up for distinguished Toastmaster Ankur Yada.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nusrat. Let me first share my screen. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ankur Yadav and currently serving as District Public Relation Manager. In today's 15-minute session, we will be discussing about the brand guidelines issued by Toastmasters International. It is not possible for me to explain branding, which in itself is a subject that can take months to understand, to explain it to you in a session of just 15 minutes. Though, I'll try to cover all the important areas as far as possible. For any queries, you can mail me at my email address or WhatsApp number, which I will be sharing with you at the end of this session. This is the agenda. So first, we will be understanding what a brand is, then what Toastmaster as a brand promises us. After that, we will be discussing about the brand guidelines issued by Toastmaster International. Then we will be thinking about the matter that why should we follow it. And at the last, we will be having one activity. So at the same time, I would request everyone to please share your comments in the chat box. So what is a brand? My first question to you. You can unmute yourself and you can answer it one by one. What is a brand? Leave it. Let me answer it for you. Can you identify these three people? A simple yes or no would do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect, perfect, perfect.
Yes.
Though there are hundreds of definitions of brand, but in simple term, we can say it is something which separates one from the other. It could be positive, it could be negative. And this slide, you can see three images. All the three individuals represent a personal brand, something which separates them from other. Also, you can see two are positive and one is an example of negative brand. I won't be naming who is negative and who is positive. I hope you are much aware about it. Cool? The way we have personal brand, similarly, all the major corporation and organizations have their brand, something which separates them from the others. As you can see in this slide, we have three different brands of three different organizations. First one is Apple. Can someone tell me in which sector Apple is? What do they do?
IT, phone,
Mobile phone.
laptop, electronics.
Perfect. And can someone tell me which of which company the third logo is?
Vehicle. Vehicle.
It's Mercedes.
Industry.
Mercedes.
And Mercedes, yes. And in the center we have our logo of Toastmaster International, which says Toastmaster is a place where leaders are made. So everyone, every brand promises us something. And if we talk about the Toastmasters International brand, it promises us empowering individual through personal and professional development. In order to separate Toastmaster from others, Toastmaster International has issued certain guidelines known as brand guidelines. Brand guidelines is a 72-page document available on TI website, and it can answer almost all your questions with respect to Toastmaster International's brand. Now coming to the most important aspect of branding, that is colors. Toastmaster International has prescribed only these 7 colors that we can use: maroon, gray, blue, yellow, white, and black and red. You have to use only these colors while making or producing anything which is related to Toastmasters. Now, how to get these colors? You can use the codes available for each color in the brand guideline manual. Question: can we use any color other than these 7 colors? You have to answer it. Please unmute and answer it. Can we use any color other than these 7 colors?
No.
No.
Okay, you are very intelligent. I'm proud of you. Now this question is here because many people ask me that it becomes very boring and it is very difficult to use just these 7 colors as these restricting, and let me know if I'm wrong. In how many ways can 7 different colors be arranged? And the answer is 5,040 ways. And if you think I'm wrong, you can ask your maths teacher. Cool?
It's like permutation combination.
Exactly, 7 factorial. So you have so many ways to use these 7 colors. So never complain that you have just 7 colors. You can use it in so many ways. Now the important aspect of a brand is also logo. Do you know what a logo is? Well, let me help you. Let me help you with that. Logo is a symbol or other small design adopted by an organization to identify its products. TI has prescribed us these logos. You can see full color version, alternate version, and also the color versions. Now the next slides talk about how we have to use the logo. There are certain rules. To make it simple for you, whenever you are using a logo, adjust the size diagonally. Don't do it from side. Don't do it from sides. And in the next slide, I will also be telling you the logo don'ts. As you can see, all of these logos are wrong and we can't use them. You must not change the logo element. You must not change the logo color. You must not change the proportion. Do not put logo on colors that aren't in the brand palette, and do not create your own logo. Now let me ask you one more time. Can you create your own logo?
Yes. For
No.
myself, but not for Toastmasters.
No, you can't create your
No.
own Toastmasters logo. These are the logos that you have to use. If you want to read more about it, Toastmasters brand guideline is available on the Toastmasters website, and you can just do it from there. Now the next part is the typography. So Toastmaster International has prescribed us 4 main fonts that we can use. The first one is the Gotham or the Montserrat, which is available for free. Second is ITC Lubelin Graphics Standard. Third is Myriad Pro. And the fourth one is Arial. And the usage are respective. Gotham you can use for the headlines and the subheads. ITC you can use for text callouts and tagline. Myriad Pro for body copy, for print collateral, and Arial for any external communication. Do you think that that the font is important? Unmute yourself and answer this question.
Yes.
Yes.
Fonts are
Yes.
It
important?
resembles the brand.
Yes.
Exactly. And if you think that fonts are not important, then see this. Can you find a difference?
Yes.
Both are same sentences,
Yes.
but the impression that they are giving is quite different.
Yeah.
You have to use the fonts which are prescribed by Toastmasters International. Now coming to the next slide, which talks about the images that we can use. So the images that we can use are, we can use the images of club meetings that we have, presentations and speaker, networking, conferences and training, speech
Can't hear him. Ankur, can you just repeat the images to use?
Yeah, I can repeat. So now we are talking about the images that we can use. We can use the images of club meetings, presentation and speakers, networking, conferences and training, speech contest. Coming to the images that we can't use are the images of animals, landscape, children, food, medicine, cartoon, or any other image or design. Any question on that? If not, let me go
No.
ahead.
Okay.
Thank you. And do you know that you can get the branded images from TI website? So they have a resource section from where you can download all the brand images that you can use in your flyers. Coming to the next slide, why you should follow it. Can someone answer me why we should follow brand guidelines?
Because Toastmasters brand is unique, and we cannot we have to follow the guidelines they have given us. We cannot change the brand in any way.
I mean,
Exactly.
violating the rules can give another message. I mean, that actually Toastmasters should carry. If we violate the rules, it might carry different messages.
Perfect. Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav and Toastmaster Nusrat. We have to follow it. TI, as per the policy of Toastmaster International, trademark is governed by the bylaws of Toastmaster International. And E point in the brand guideline manual, page number 70, states that unauthorized use of the marks, which include the trademarks or the copyrighted material, is prohibited and may result in the removal from good standing. Are you listening to me? It may result in
Yes.
removal
Yes.
from good standing of an individual member, revocation of a club charter, removal of an officer at any level, or other disciplinary or legal action. If you want to know more about the do's and don'ts, there is a reference which has been mentioned in page number 70, which states that the page number 171 to 177 from Toastmaster International Policy and Protocol, you can read about the use of Toastmaster material, membership contact information, surveys, trademark, and website. Now we have the activity time. Now you have to answer me, what is wrong with this? Can you see this flyer?
Background.
The colors.
Font.
Color?
Overlapping fonts. Overlapping fonts.
Background.
Logo is
then
placed
color,
on a
logo.
logo has been placed on a non-TI background. Color, font, picture of someone's. I mean, picture is also not appropriate.
Exactly. And I would request everyone to participate because you will get a prize from me if you will participate.
Okay. Okay.
You can write your answer in the chat box. So everything is wrong with this picture, with this flyer, be it the Toastmaster logo, be it the colors, be it the position of logo, be it the fonts that we have used, or be it everything. Everything is wrong with this flyer, and you have to understand that you must not do it. Now we are having a quiz session. I would request everyone to unmute yourself. Yes. So the first question is, I can use any color in my poster, true or false?
False.
False.
No.
No.
Okay, there is a unanimous no and false. Very good. You all are very intelligent. I'm proud of you. The second question. There are no restriction on the usage of font.
False.
No. False.
Excellent. You all are very intelligent. One more question. If I'm not using Toastmaster logo, I can do anything in the poster I wish to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
As long as it is not pertaining to Toastmasters.
No.
If I don't use Toastmasters name as well.
Yes.
Irrelevant.
We don't use Toastmasters name.
Yes, if you are not using Toastmaster name, or if the flyer or any information that you are broadcasting is not related to Toastmaster, do whatever you want to do. But if it is related to Toastmaster, you can't do anything in the poster. So it is
Yes.
false. Even if there is no logo, but you are using the word Toastmaster, you can't do it.
Right.
Thank you. Now the next question. If I'm the VPPR of a corporate club, I can use my company's logo?
No.
No. False.
There is a contract already between Toastmasters and TI. Yes.
Yes. So the
You can
answer to
use-
this is true.
Okay.
I sought this
Okay.
information from Master International. They said that if you are a corporate, if you are a member of corporate club, and if you want to use the logo of your company, you can use it provided your company is not having any problem with that.
Okay.
So, Ankur, just a word of caution for corporate clubs in particular. None of the corporates are comfortable sharing their logo or anything out. So,
Yes.
they will in most of the cases you're going to get a decline because that is a violation of their IP.
Exactly.
But I'm guessing there are some corporates who allow that also.
Yes. So Adobe allows that. So the onus is on the organization, not on the TI. TI says if the company is fine with it, they can share, they can use their logo. But we have to seek approval from the organization. If they are fine with it, then we can use it. If not, then it is fine. So everyone, this was it from my side. If you have any question or queries, you can email it to me on ankuryadav.c@gmail.com, and my WhatsApp number is 9718101968. I hope you loved my session, and I'm sure, or I'm assuming that I finished it in 15 minutes.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much to distinguished Toastmaster Ankur Yadav. That was such an interesting and interactive session. I'm sure all our VPPRs queries have so many of their queries clarified. So thank you so much. Now, okay, let's now move to the very interesting prepared speech segment of our meeting. Now, today we have not one or two, but three prepared, wonderful and amazing speakers of Division L waiting to deliver their speeches. Okay, as our first prepared speaker, we have someone who is a businessman by profession, but enjoys to be known as a community development worker by passion. He started his business career at the age of 17 when his father was diagnosed with cancer, and started working independently after 2 years when he lost his idol, his father. After a struggling life today, he feels accomplished after having paid off his father's debts and running a successful garments buying house. He joined Toastmasters in 2015 and has led from the front whenever the community needed his service. He is a Toastmaster certified competent communicator and leader. Known as a brother to many in the community and loves being called Zahid Bhai instead of sir or anything else for that matter. In personal life, he is married to a gem of a person and father of a beautiful daughter. He is none other than the Division L Director, Toastmaster Muhammad Zahid Hussain. Toastmaster Zahid Hussain will deliver his speech from Level 2 of Project 1 of Level 2 of Pathway Dynamic Leadership. And today, to evaluate his speech, we have distinguished Toastmaster Muhammad Ghulam Dastagir Johnny. I would request his evaluator to kindly read out the objectives of Toastmaster Zahid's speech. Toastmaster Johnny.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nusrat. The purpose of the project is for the member to identify his or her primary leadership style or styles. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of his or her, actually it will be his, primary leadership style or discuss leadership style in general. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nusrat.
Thank you. So Toastmaster Zahid will deliver his speech titled Step Back Sometimes. Step Back Sometimes, Toastmaster Muhammad Zahid Hussain. All the best.
Unmute yourself, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Step back sometimes. Today, when I was thinking about giving my speech, I was thinking that what a leader should actually be doing. And I found out that it's important for any leader to sometimes not lead, but let others take the front seat and lead. And that's why I have decided to put my topic as Step Back Sometimes. Now, what is leadership? For me, leadership is a state of mind where the leader knows that whatever he or she is doing is being followed by certain people. And therefore, the leader has to lead with integrity, with honesty, and try to be as fair as possible. Now, I have been in leadership role for quite some times now. As the Toastmaster of the day was saying, that I started my business life in about the age of 17 and then started continuing when I was 19. I had the opportunity to lead a group of people. Reason behind was the owner of the organization was my father. So therefore, when I joined the organization, I was automatically a leader, the deputy managing director. So I started leading. But the best thing which my father did during that time was to make sure that I learned before I lead. So he put me into the factory setup. He said, work on the factory floor, learn, and then try to guide anybody who needs your guidance. So I have tried to lead after learning. Now, when I was about to give this speech and I was going through the purpose of this speech, we had to take, like I had to take this one evaluation where I got to know what kind of a leader I am. So there are different kind of leaders, right? There is democratic, there is affiliative, there is coaching, there is bureaucratic. So after taking that evaluation, I got to know that I'm a democratic leader. And I was like, okay, I'm a democratic leader. So what are the great traits of democratic leader? Number one is they like to take decisions in groups. Number two, they allow others to take the front seat. They motivate others, letting others to participate. And I was thinking, how did I actually become a democratic leader? Because I was running a factory and I used to just give decisions without asking many people. Then I started thinking about my Toastmaster journey, and I could understand that my leadership from bureaucratic has changed to democratic now. And it's so obvious. So how did I become a democratic leader? I started thinking, and I started putting pressure on my brain that, okay, how? Eventually I could find out and figure out that how. So when I became the president of Dhaka Toastmaster Club, I thought, let's work in a group. Rather than me trying to be bossy and telling the EXCO members, okay, do this, do that. So I thought, okay, it's better if I let everybody do their own job. And when I took over as the president of Dhaka Toastmaster Club, unfortunately, in that time, we were struggling a bit. We were struggling with the members coming in. We were struggling with the venue. But the best part was when I decided that I don't want to be that leader who just gives decision on the face, but want to be that leader who wants to take the feedback and let everyone work in their own pace. Results started coming. And I was astonished because I wasn't doing much, but we were doing great. And me being the president was getting all the applauses. So then I told my exco, I'm like, I'm getting all the applauses because you guys are working. So that was a great way of making sure that everyone was participating and doing their bit. And yes, that democratic style of the leadership worked. And today, Dhaka Toastmaster Club, my home club, is in a great position. Somewhere we started the journey of making sure that Dhaka Toastmaster becomes a great club in the community. And today, after 2-3 years, when I see these leaders, the new bunch of leaders taking care of everything in such a much, much better way, I feel proud. Now, in democratic leadership, there is a problem as well. The problem is you are taking so many feedbacks and you are somebody who has become comfortable letting people to give you their decisions and also working on it. And sometimes you might get into trouble. So let me tell you a story of my democracy with my wife. So we were in a drive together. We were going somewhere and there were two ways of going and reaching that destination. So I asked my wife, just trying to be nice and the great husband that I am, that, okay, darling, which way should I take? She said, go this way. I said, there is a chance that there might be traffic. She said, no, I know it. You go this way. And being the great husband I am, I had nothing better to do. I took that route knowing that there will be jam. So when I went to that route and the traffic was high, I told my wife, darling, we took the wrong route. She said, don't worry, whatever I say, right. So sometimes, my dear friends, it's very important that you take some decisions as a bureaucratic leader as well, when you know that the decisions being thrown at you might be wrong. So as a leader, it's very important for all of us to make sure that we are a mixture of certain things. Of course, there will be a type of leadership which will be dominating you, but you might need to change sometimes when there is a need. And to conclude my speech, all I want to say is leadership is a blessing. Not everyone becomes leader. When you get that blessing, please be fair and try to do the best possible thing for people who are following you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Zahid Hussain, for that beautiful, wonderful speech. And I'm so proud to say that I share my leadership traits with him. I have also taken the same assessment, and I've found that I'm also a democratic leader. Okay, so that was a fabulous speech. And now, actually, since it's prayer time, I would take permission from our general evaluator. What should we do? Like, some of our members would want to go for prayer. Can we take a 5 minutes break, or
Yes.
if our second...
With your permission, I would allow everyone to take an 8-minute break, just to
8
celebrate
minutes?
the 8 leadership styles. Let's take a break of minutes 8, but let's not be late, because we
Okay,
cannot
sure.
forever wait.
So in the meantime, Toastmaster Ayan Pal, can you please entertain our guests who are present here, who are not going for their prayer? Okay,
Sure.
In the meantime, we'll be back. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
think everyone, please, we'll take a 8-minute, yes.
8-minute break, everyone.
8-minute break, exactly 8 minutes.
So whoever is not taking that break, can you please check the timing and let us know when 8 minutes are up? I think that is important.
Your time starts now, Ayan. You are supposed to entertain us.
Yeah, Ayan, we're waiting for a
call.
performance from you.
Oh ho ho! So Dheeraj was just now.
I still remember the song that you sang. So one song would be a really refreshing.
Okay, Saurabh, I get it.
He can show us.
So in the meantime, it's time for our second speaker of the meeting. She is a past English language instructor of Bangladesh Navy, Isa Khan, and currently working as an invigilator for British Council Chittagong. She's serving as the Vice President membership of Chittagong Toastmasters Club, and during her free time, she loves gardening and taking care of her birds. Let's welcome Toastmaster Nasima Yasmin. We dearly call her Itu Apu, and today she will deliver her first speech from Project 2 of Level 1 Presentation Mastery. And to evaluate her, we have Toastmaster Shamima Nasreen. I would request Toastmaster Shamima to kindly read out the objectives of Toastmaster Nasima Yasmin's speech. Toastmaster Shamima.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. And hello, everyone. The purpose of Itu Yasmin's speech today is, this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Yeah. Okay, Toastmaster Nasima Yasmin with her speech, Don't Die Before You Are Dead. Don't die before you are dead, Nasima Yasmin. All the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nusrat. Each morning starts with the hope of leading a good day, and each day begins with the thought of a new ecstatic journey. But who knows what will happen next? Who knows what a sudden storm can change your way of direction? Your way of light can be turned into your way of darkness. A day what you thought to be joyous can be changed into a gloomy day. Life is not smooth and shiny always. As there are problems, there are solutions. As there are difficulties, there are opportunities. But to tackle the challenge, to take advantage, to go forward, will be the heroic deed of men. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, a good evening to you all. From my childhood, I always get got extra care, attention, and love from all because I was the youngest of all siblings. If any of my brother or sister asked me to do anything, my mother rushed to them and said, it started rebuking. Why are you telling her to do that? Can't you do yourself? You know, she's the youngest of all. Thus, I was growing up like a doll. Even after my marriage, I got such wonderful mother-in-law and husband who used to believe that I will not be able to do any hard work. If I went to kitchen, my mother-in-law asked the maids, why did she come here? You can't do anything for her. You can give her a cup of tea. Thus, I was passing my days like a puppet. If I used to buy any dress or anything, my husband used to give me more than one. I am a lover of birds, and he used to give me different kinds of birds like as gift. You are thinking how lucky I am. I was born with golden spoon in mouth. So far, I expressed about one side of the coin. I depicted about my lavish life, my soft and delicate nature, as if you are believing I am used to think the quote of Shakespeare, frailty, thy name is women. But really, I was aware that misfortunes may come at any time. Leading the life of happiness, floating in the ocean of pleasures, I was not oblivious to the misfortunes of life. Miseries and misfortunes may come at any time, and I was aware of that. True, after a few years of my marriage, I faced that problem, gruesome event, that one day, while doctor told me that my elder son was suffering from a dreadful disease, immediately I flew to Mumbai for his treatment, leaving behind my sweet family, my younger son, only 1 year old he was then. I did not care for him. My whole focus, my whole attention was then for my elder son's treatment, for his recovery. For 1 year without my husband, I alone fought, I alone struggled for the recovery of my elder son. I decided that at anyhow, I'll have to make him survive. Yes, I did it. After 1 year, while I came back to my country, I saw my younger son could not recognize me. He was just calling me auntie because during my time, there was video call or video conference like present days was not available. Technology was not so developed. However, in course of time, the situation was manageable. I can't stop myself to share with you another incident of my life just to show that situation can make one person sharpen. 2 years back, I went to USA with my 2 sons, visited to my sister house who lives at Amherst Avenue in New York. After reaching there, the next day we all went outside for sightseeing. While we were walking along a busy road, suddenly I noted that my elder son was not there. I looked around, but no, he was not there. I felt my heartbeat. I was dumbstruck. I realized I lost my son. Then I remember he had no contact number, he had no money, and he had no passport. But I made myself strong and immediately called 911. The American cops came to me and they started interrogating me about my son's physical appearance, gesture, height, complexion. Getting all the information, they just started to search for him, but made me stand there on that spot because my son might come back there. In this time also, I made myself strong and firm, and I was praying all the time to Almighty for my son's coming back. I was breathlessly waiting for him for 2 hours. At last, I was informed by my sister that he reached home. My son reached home through Google Map. The experiences I actually shared with you to show that in difficult situation, becoming impatient will not work. If you are patient, if you are reticent or calm and quiet in crucial time, you'll find a clue to overcome the problem. And you will not be perplexed then what to do. One cannot be judged by outward expression. A soft-natured person can be changed into a stone-hearted person in crucial time. Face is not the index of mind. We all human beings are in dire situation now. COVID-19 made us terrified, but we should not be frustrated. Due to stress, actually, we are dying before death. We should remember that as sunny days will come after rainy days, sun will shine after clouds. In the same way, we can hope one day we can overcome this pandemic. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nasima Yasmin, for that beautiful speech. Really beautiful message there. Thank you so much. Well, now it's time for our third speaker of the day. And she was supposed to speak second, but I think she's now there with us. So let's now move on to the third speaker. Toastmaster Noshin Noori is one of the most talented and youngest members of Chittagong Toastmasters Club. She's currently pursuing BBA from IBA Dhaka and recently won the runner-up position in division level humorous speech contest this year. So she's always inspired by great speakers and loves to read and write. Today, she will deliver her first speech from level 3 Pathway Innovative Planning. And to evaluate her speech, we have distinguished Toastmaster Dayaratne, HP Dayaratne. Can I please request distinguished Toastmaster HP Dayaratne to read out the objectives of Toastmaster Noshin's speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster. I hope you all hear me.
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, Toastmaster Noshin, I hope you also can hear me. And you are delivering the level 3 project today, which is present a proposal. So in a nutshell, the purpose of this project is to practice developing and presenting a proposal. So I hope that you have developed a proposal to improve any idea of your life. So it can involve your personal or professional life or can be related to the Toastmaster Club as well. And your task today is to give a 5 to 7 minute speech in front of this audience presenting your proposal. So those are the basic things. So I'll be looking at how well you have developed your proposal and how this you present your proposal in addition to the standard parameters of a speech. It's over to you, Toastmaster, today.
Thank you, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Dayaratne. Now, so her project is present a proposal and speech title is it really the problem? Toastmaster Noshin Noori, is it really the problem? All the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nusrat. Giving a speech in an online meeting on Toastmasters has taught me, really, distance doesn't matter. Though we are in front of our screens, let us try to make this as lively as possible by creating a simulation of a real Toastmasters meeting. I want you to imagine what you actually do on a meeting day. You rush out of your home or office, get into the car and drive to the venue. The meeting is at 6, but it's already 6:05. You walk faster, cross the gate, and then press the button for the elevator. The door opens and you're greeted by someone. That someone who's greeting you is yourself. Most lifts have mirrors inside them. Now, why we have mirrors inside our lifts is a story in itself. There was a building where people complained that the lift was too slow. The engineering solution required to increase the speed of lift was going to be very expensive. But the problem was solved with a much cheaper solution. It was solved by placing mirrors inside the lift. The mirrors went in and complaints went out. People were so busy looking at themselves that they didn't feel that they were spending too much time in the lift. Suddenly, the lifts weren't slow anymore. The secret to this affordable solution lies in the identification of the real problem. If the problem had been the speed of lifts, mirrors would have never solved it. Increasing the speed of lift with engineering would cost a lot, and yet, after a few days, people would again feel that the lift was slow. The real problem was not the speed of lifts, rather, the fact that people had nothing to do in the lift, so time stretched and got them bored. Identifying the wrong problem can be devastating. Organizations miss opportunities, waste resources, and end up pursuing innovation initiatives that aren't aligned with their strategies. You know what? Even we have paid a high price because of picking out the wrong problem. Here's an example. You set the goal of reading one book every week or every month, but it never happened. You never had enough time. But now, since you have all the time you can have to yourself, still, you didn't read the book. Shortage of time was your excuse. But now, this quarantine with an ocean of time has harshly taught it's not time. It never was. Rather, it is the lazy us who stop ourselves. You wanted a blog of your own, wanted to play a new musical instrument, wanted to cook a new dish, wanted a new YouTube channel, but all these never happened. You said, I don't have enough time. But now this quarantine has taught what the problem actually is. It's not time, rather our willpower to do things. So now that you really know what the problem is, I have a proposal for you to accomplish all the things that you wanted to do but never did. Take some time. Make a list of all the things you thought time didn't let you do. I would love to share the list I made for myself. You can create a list like this and note down all the things you wanted to do, but time didn't allow you. Create the list. Accomplish one by one. And after you have done that, you will feel a rush of pleasure that I'm sure you're going to love. We miss a lot of opportunities because we thought that we didn't have enough time, but actually time is there. You have to make time for everything. Countries, individuals, and even organizations fail because of identifying the wrong problem. But you know what? We have done a really great job as Toastmasters. Distance might appear as a problem in conducting a Toastmasters meeting, but we have proved that it is not. In a physical meeting, we used to connect 20 people or more, but in an online meeting, we are connecting far more people and even across national boundaries. So before I end my speech, for all of us for not getting into the trap of identifying the wrong problem, and for not taking distance as a problem, let us give a big round of applause. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nausheen. That was wonderful, and I'm surely making my list of my own. I've already made a list, and I'm halfway through it already. Thank you for your motivation and your encouragement. That was really nice. So it's time now to bridge the gap. As we were talking about bridging gaps and crossing boundaries, it's time to bridge the gap between our prepared speech section and the table topic section, or the next session of our meeting today. So it's that segment of the meeting when all our members tend to hide their faces behind the chairs in a physical meeting and tend to mute their videos and disappear. in a virtual meeting. Well, yes, you are right. It's time for the ever so engaging and entertaining table topic session. And to conduct this session today, we have an equally engaging and entertaining person with us today. He's a master's in IT from University of DC and a master's in English from Nepal. He's the founder of 8 companies in Nepal, a corporate trainer and a TEDx speaker as well. He's currently serving District 41 as an associate program quality director. Please welcome Advanced Communicator Gold, Advanced Leadership Silver, Toastmaster Saurabh Lohani from Division 8, Nepal, to conduct the table topic session as table topic master. Toastmaster Saurabh Lohani.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nusrat, Toastmaster of the evening, for such a wonderful introduction. Now, this is the time where we go through table topic session. And although I believe that everybody is aware what table topic session is, let me tell you what table topic session does. Number one, what it does is it makes you acquainted with thinking on your feet skills, meaning that it makes you better on your impromptu speaking skills. It makes you confident. And last but not the least is it helps you organize your thought in smallest bit of time that is allocated to you. Now, having spoken about the time, let me lay out the timing rules as well. Number one, you would have 1 minute to 2 minutes to speak. In 1 minute, the timer would flash a green signal. That means it is the first warning. In 1.5 minutes, the timer will signal you a yellow card or yellow signal. That means you are halfway through. And in 2 minutes, you'll see the red card or red signal, meaning that you have to put end to your speech, but you would have 30 seconds in grace. If you want to be eligible for being voted, you need to conclude your speech within 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So are we all ready? Let me see a thumbs up. Wonderful, a lot of thumbs up that I see. Our first speaker for today, table topic speaker, is Toastmaster Ayan, Area N1 Director. Toastmaster Ayan, would you kindly unmute yourself so that I can give you the topic?
Sure.
Toastmaster Ayan, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay, wonderful. Toastmaster Ayan, your topic is, if you could fly somewhere, please complete this sentence.
If I could fly somewhere, and that's a great hope that I have, that I hope and pray that someday I would be able to fly somewhere. Because even the aircraft which are standing on the ground are having the same hope that one day they wish they can fly somewhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to COVID-19. The one single act which has brought down the airline industry in India, that even aircraft which are parked in the different airports of the world hope and pray that one day they should fly somewhere. And why do we need to fly? We need to fly because that's where our imagination takes us. People throughout the ages, men have looked at flying to be a skill, and that led to the development of the aircraft. But to think of this point where we are not able to physically fly, to be somewhere where we cannot fly in a different dimension is wrong. Because this is the time where we can take a different flight, a flight of fantasy, a flight of creativity. We have the option of learning new skills, becoming a different person, or maybe a better person than what we are, and yet be thankful to the point that we can still fly, if not in an airplane, in the imaginary window of our mind. And the day we start looking into these images is where we start dreaming, and when we start dreaming, we make things happen for real. So ladies and gentlemen, what I would suggest to you is to keep flying, to keep dreaming, because what our dreams today are reality tomorrow. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ayan. That was our N1 Area Director, Toastmaster Ayan, delivering his impromptu speech. Let us give him a virtual round of applause. Now, moving forward, my second topic for Toastmaster Rohmatul Islam, VPPR of Chittagong Speech Masters Club. Would you please kindly unmute yourself so that I can give you the topic?
Yes, I have.
Wonderful. 3 things, your topic goes like this, 3 things that you would suggest during lockdown to keep yourself proactive. 3 things that you would suggest during lockdown to keep yourself proactive. Over to you.
Well, it's since we are locked down in our homes, and to be proactive in this time is doing physical exercise every day. I have say, and the second thing that I would like to suggest to the Toastmasters, to all the person, is that more books that you can get, because in this time, because this is the right time for us to enrich ourselves with knowledge, informations, and to make ourselves prepare when we are out there after the lockdown. And the third thing that I would like to suggest is that spending more quality time with the family, because many of the people of today are not able to spend their time with their family quite often because of their works, because of their studies, of many things. But this is the opportunity for us to make our relationship more stronger than ever. And and by this we can be very much proactive, and we can survive this lockdown with our enormous effort. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Table Topic Masters.
Thank you so much. That was our speaker 2 of Table Topic session. Now moving ahead with third topic of the Table Topic session. Do we have Toastmaster Smita Narayan, Division N Director, with us? Do we? I don't see her.
Yeah,
do
I
we
think
have...
she's left. We can go to the next.
Okay.
Can I join? Can I participate? I'm interested about that. I'm from Bangladesh.
Yes.
Toastmasters.
Wonderful. MD Sheikh Sadi, is that you?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Sadi. It's me.
Wonderful. Wonderful, sir. Please continue.
Can I know the topic?
Yes, I'm sorry. Your topic is your favorite food and the best way to eat it. Your favorite food and the best way to eat it.
How many friends I have in there who like more chicken? Raise your hand. Like me? Oh, I have lots of friends in there. I like chicken very much because I'm doing my workout every day for build up my body. Because when you go for your workout, you need proper nutrition. Especially we need protein. That's why I have to eat every day at most more than 800 gram chicken. And also I made a routine for that. Every day I am doing my workout and I'm taking my food. In your life, you have to follow a plan for everything, my friends. Suppose you want to achieve your goal, you have to make a plan. Then you have to make a plan how you will execute. Then you will execute. Then you will be successful. Like my chicken, I like chicken very much. And every day I am eating more than 8 kg chicken, 800 gram chicken, because it's my plan. I have to do my workout. I have to build up more muscle. I want to be a bodybuilder. That's why I need protein. That's why I made a plan. I'm eating chicken and it's my best food. So my friends, raise your hand if you know your goal, like your chicken. Raise your hand. Okay. Thank you very much. How about you, Table Topic Master?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mohammed. Chicken is working the other way for me. Instead of growing my muscle, I'm growing my belly more. So moving on to the next speaker 4, we have Toastmaster Asadu Zaman, Area L4 Director. Please kindly unmute yourself. You are the next speaker.
Hi, Saurabh. How are you?
Yes, all good, sir. And your topic is for today. What will you do as soon as the lockdown is taken off? What will you do as soon as this lockdown is lifted? Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, Table Topic Master. I think after opening it, after the lockdown finish, first thing I will do, I will take a deep breath in a fresh air because lockdown is finished. Then I have a list, a few lists I have that I need to start doing. And number one, I will start doing meeting and Toastmasters in person. Especially I will start from Dhaka Toastmasters. Then I will try to join in the contest and other Toastmasters club. That is in my list. And I will start going abroad because long time, last 1 year, I have not visited any country. So if lockdown is finished, I will try to go to Nepal, Bhutan, and maybe Maldives again. Because Maldives is a country where I loved most to visit. And this time, I and my wife feeling that we are in jail. So these jail things need to be finished. This lockdown need to be finished so that we can travel, we can do Toastmaster meeting, we can take a deep breath and in a fresh air and can go outside and can hug our friends. So I want to hug you, Saurabh. I want to hug Jahid. I want to hug everyone in Toastmaster, and I want to join in District 41 next conference. So that is my goal as a Toastmaster, as a human being. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much. That was our fourth speaker. Now moving ahead towards our fifth speaker, Toastmaster Jamaluddin Jami, would you please like to unmute yourself so that I can give you your topic?
Yes, Saurabh.
Yes, sir. So your topic is one of the most vivid memories of your childhood that you would like to share with us. One of the most vivid memories of your childhood.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters from different countries. Good evening. Childhood memory. Wow. If I want to share my memory, people will think otherwise about me. So you have heard of series of rejections in my different speeches? Yes. From my childhood, started from class 3, I started proposing girls, not boys. And same result again and again, rejected. But I didn't give up. I didn't give up. I continued my journey. I mean, proposing journey. It goes with me. Wherever I go, either I fall in love or love falls in me. Whatever happens. But one interesting story still I can remember when I was student of class 3. For the first time, I proposed a girl. The next day, she brought her mother to the teacher, and teacher called my parents. And still, I can remember the bamboo therapy of my father because of that. So this is the vivid memory of my childhood. Still, I remember. And whenever I see a girl, and if I want to propose, that bamboo therapy works. So I look around, I ask some other questions, whether she is available or not. Finally, I proposed. Yes, I proposed, and I found my dream girl. No more proposing because that chapter already closed. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jamaluddin Jami. Now we are done with the table topic session. Now, before wrapping up the session, I'd like to ask our timer and Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Mohammed Arif if everyone is qualified to be voted.
Yes, everyone is within the time limit.
Okay, so everyone is within the time limit to be voted. So Toastmaster Arif would be sending us a link, or he will be sending us a link in the chat box. Kindly follow the link and vote for your favorite speaker. Out of the 5 speakers, let me repeat the name. The first speaker was Toastmaster Choyan Kumar Pant. The second speaker was Toastmaster Romatul Islam. Third speaker was Muhammad Sheikh. Fourth speaker was Asadul Zaman. And our fifth speaker was Jamaluddin Jami. So please kindly vote as per the voting guidelines in the chat box sent by our ballot counter. Over to you, TMOE Nusrat.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master Saurabh Lohani. That was a fabulous and entertaining table topic session. And regarding the voting, we are going to send a link at the end, towards the end of our general evaluation segment, so that all the role takers and even speakers and table topic speakers can be voted on the same form. So we'll do that a bit in a while. Okay, so now let's move on to the next segment of our meeting today, which is the final segment, and of course, one of the most valuable and important segments of our meeting. This is the time when our speakers receive real on-time feedback from our evaluators. And today, to evaluate our first speaker was Toastmaster Zahid Hussain, and to evaluate him, we have our first evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Muhammad Ghulam Dastagir Johnny. Let me give you an introduction for our first evaluator. Although a telecommunications engineering graduate, he's an entrepreneur by profession and the director of operations for the architectural firm Stananco. As a Toastmaster, he's not only the charter secretary and past president of the first community-based Toastmasters Club in Bangladesh, Chittagong Toastmasters Club, but also the first ever President's Distinguished Area Director of Bangladesh for the year 2017-18. He's currently serving as the DCP coach for District 41 and also as the president of Chittagong Speech Masters Club. And very recently, he achieved the most coveted title of Distinguished Toastmaster, becoming the first DTM from Chittagong. So I would like to call upon our first evaluator for today, Distinguished Toastmaster Muhammad Ghulam Dastagir Johnny.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Nusrat, for the wonderful introduction. Toastmaster Zahid, our division director, are you here? Toastmaster Zahid is here? Okay. The speech title, Step Back Sometimes. I'm just starting with some basic evaluation things that I'm talking about. The clarity was really great. The vocal variety you used was so nice that you gave some example of conversation between you and your wife, but you used that C-level tone, but I believe she didn't use that C-level tone. Hey, you have to go there. No, I believe it's not like that. And eye contact was great, and as long as you were giving your speech sitting on seat, so you could not use stays, as it's an online meeting. But I have a little recommendation in this part that you could use some pauses and some pitch, because you used a same tone. It was great, the tone was great, but if you use some pauses and pitches, some up and low, could use some more value to your speech, I'm pretty sure. But other than this, that was great. And your speech made enough awareness about the leadership style. Personally, I feel that you gave some example in your professional life, in your Toastmasters life, and in your personal life or family life. And I personally felt comfortable because I believe every one of us could relate your story with their personal life. And that gave me a little confusion that, are you a bureaucratic leader or democratic leader, or looking like bureaucratic leader but you are a democratic leader, or you are a democratic leader but looking like bureaucratic leader? It was a kind of twist in your speech, I must say. And The lesson I got, okay, before the lesson, I'm taking another little recommendation that the speech title was Step Back Sometimes. And throughout your speech, we felt, or I felt, the reflection was there with the title and the stories. But the conclusion, if you could use that same line in another way, that step back sometimes, how you are stepping back, I mean, just giving a wrapping up line, that could be a bit better, but still it was great. And the lesson we learned, or I learned from your speech, you can say that we have to be a bit sensible as a leader. So finally, it was a wonderful speech, great speech. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mohammad Zahid Hossain, Division L Director. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ghulam Dastagir Johnny. Okay, now today our second speaker was Toastmaster Nasima Yasmin, and to evaluate her, we have someone who's a dear member of Chittagong Toastmasters Club. She is an assistant professor of economics and banking in International Islamic University of Chittagong. A very free-spirited person by nature, she loves gardening, traveling, and making people laugh. I would request Toastmaster Shamima Nasreen to kindly read out the present her evaluation report for Toastmaster Nasima Yasmin's speech. Toastmaster Shamima.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nusrat Huda. Don't die before your death. What a meaningful title in today's situation, because we all are dying in every moment we're spending, especially when we are listening to the broadcast, the number, the count of the affected people of, through the COVID-19. So ladies and gentlemen, all the Toastmasters present here, I would like to request you all to give a great round of applause to Speaker 2, Itu Yasmin, for selecting a so meaningful and relevant title of today's situation. Speaker Itu Yasmin, are you here? Speaker Itu Yasmin, I personally want to congratulate you for selecting such a beautiful and meaningful and relevant topic in this situation, and you have made us a journey to our memory lane, because you started your speech from your childhood experiences, that how you were growing up, you were born with a golden spoon feeder, and how you were taken care by your husband and your mother in your childhood, and you just made us realize that how you, from your childhood, you have just transformed yourself from a soft-hearted or soft-natured person to a stone-hearted person, because you always believed that misfortune may come anytime. What a relevant, what a so true realization. In your speech, I liked mostly your title, and then I liked that you made us journey to the childhood, and also you made us feel that how you felt when you lost your child. And again, you made yourself stronger, and you also added that your personal stories, people always love to listen to the personal stories, and your story is so connected to all of us. But you remember that there are always certain ways where you can also work on. So I would like to, you might want to consider in your further speeches. That's vocal variety. When you're making a call to 911 because you have lost your child and you are so anxious, maybe you could have used a better tone, that oh my God, I have lost my child, and can you please help me, dear police? My child was wearing this shirt and jeans and he looked like this. And Toastmasters, you know, I just mentioned and I made myself stronger at that time. So I think you could have projected the situation in this way. But apart from that, I would like to congratulate you again for selecting such a wonderful topic. But your conclusion was so touchy that you have also mentioned the current pandemic with coronavirus, and that was so relevant with today's situation again. So thank you, Itu Yasmin, for your wonderful speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shamima, for your evaluation. Now let's move on to the third evaluator and the final evaluator for our third prepared speaker today. Our third speaker today was Toastmaster Noshi Nuri, and our evaluator for Toastmaster Noshi Nuri was Distinguished Toastmaster HP Dairatne. He is an electronics and telecommunications engineer by profession with over 3 decades of experience as a lecturer, mentor, coach, trainer, and speaker. As a member of Dhaka Toastmasters Club and Dhaka Bangladesh Toastmasters Club, he has introduced many innovative activities to the Toastmasters community in Bangladesh and has mentored more than 4 clubs and 30 members in the country. Last year, he achieved the highest level of educational achievement in Toastmasters, the Distinguished Toastmaster Award. And he is none other than Distinguished Toastmaster HB Dairatne. Can I request Distinguished Toastmaster HB Dairatne to unmute yourself and present your evaluation report for Toastmaster Noshi Nuri.
Thank you, Toastmaster, for the day, Toastmaster Nushin. Is it really a problem for giving such a long introduction as the evaluator? Yes, it is. Even though we are fighting with time, the Toastmaster of the day probably could not find time to make a proper introduction, so copied something from somewhere and posted. And now she made us aware of how to tackle problems. Having physical meetings, on-site meetings was a problem, but was it a real problem? So making the proposals, she did a wonderful speech. And I would say it's a wonderful speech because of 4 particular reasons. If I start from the 3 points on the speech logic, the opening you had, it was wonderful. And it was common to the entire audience of 41 participants in this meeting. It's a common thing. And if you ask a question, we are not in a position to answer it. But when you started explaining the activities taken from the office to the meeting venue in the form of a video clip, and that went in my mind of what I was going through when attending to a meeting. And that got the connection of the audience straight away. So that was the number 1 thing that I have seen in your speech. Number 2 was the language that you used. The words were so simple. We don't have to refer to this dictionary. And the phrases that you use in the speech are very short. For example, if I thought, mirror came in, complaints left out. So how beautiful it is to match with the opening scenario that she explained. And then there was some short questions also. Do you want to cook a new dish, or do you want to watch a new YouTube channel? So all are touchy with the audience, and that's what we are doing these days. Even our edition director was displaying the cooking skills of her. So that's a wonderful thing that I have seen in the speech. The third one, and was the speech, that is again on speech logic, on the structure. You got the entry to the speech, and then you clearly stated it, and you explain the other side of the problem. If you select the wrong question, what would happen? And finally, you put the proposal and end up. That was nice. From the speech parameters, the voice was very clear. Even over the internet, the voice was very clear. I like the clarity that you had in the voice. Now, I can suggest you a few things for you to go up from this level to the next level. Number 1 suggestion that I can give you from the speech parameters. And if you can narrate a speech, the speech that you had at the beginning with, let's say, the ladies take the lipstick and applying the lipstick, looking at the mirror, and that could create some humor as well to keep us engaged in the story. And that is number 1. And if you stay a little bit back from the camera, of course, we can see your upper one. You can use the hand gestures to the full. And from the speech logic, I would propose for you to include more percentage of the proposal for us to go forward. Winding up the opening, the language, the structure, and the voice, by adding some narration and having more proposal, more space for the proposal, I'm expecting to receive some recipes of the sweets that you make and few poems. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Dayaratne, for that valuable and wonderful evaluation report. Okay, now it's time for that segment of the meeting we've been all waiting for. We all want to hear from the boss of today's meeting, and that is the General Evaluator. He will be here to provide his detailed report of our meeting proceedings today along with his team. So may I now request distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal to take over and present his report, please. Distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal.
Thank you so much, Nusrat. Can we have a huge round of applause for angelic Nusrat? Now, before I go on to shining some light into the entire meeting, I have 3 role players who are waiting to tell us what went right. The first one that you were all able to guess in terms of a mirror was the grammarian. I would request now Rizal to tell us about how we fared in terms of language. Over to Rizal as a grammarian for the grammarian's report.
Good evening again. So first of all, I want to say that I didn't find any major grammatical mistake. Yet I have noted down some of the mistakes our evaluator and table topic master did. So I want to share evaluator 1, Golam Dostogir Joni. When you are giving suggestion to speaker 1, you have said that if you use, instead you would have said if you could have used. And then
No name, please. Without mentioning the name, please.
Oh, okay. Okay. And one of our evaluator used you have used the title relevant in the situation. I think instead you would have said that your title matched with the present situation. And our table topic speaker, one of our table topic speaker said, I love most visit. Maldives, I love most visit. And instead, I think you could have used the sentence that Maldives is the most loving place I have visited. And then another table topic speaker used bamboo therapy works. I think instead you could have used bamboo therapy worked. And I have noted down some best sentence from the speakers. Speaker 1, best sentence is leadership is blessing. And from speaker 2, Noshin Nuri, the best sentence I have chosen that identifying wrong problem is devastating. And third speaker, Nasima Yasmin, the best sentence is becoming impassioned in difficult times will not give you solution. And lastly, I want to say that I didn't notice to have used anyone by the word of the day, Foster. And that's all from me. Over
Thank
to
you,
you.
Rizal. Can we have a huge round of applause for Rizal? And I think what you just did today is going to foster a lot of positivity among the community. So that's your usage of the word of the day. But Rizal, a small little feedback from you. In between, I think someone kind of pointed that out. When it comes to the grammarian report, in my opinion, and as is the practice most places, you can just tell us what were the good usage of language and what were the not so good usage of language, and let us guess who are the people who said this. You don't need to mention whether it was a speaker, a table topic speaker, and so on. All right. Otherwise, when also be very, very careful when you're giving suggestions, because at one point of time, for example, you mentioned bamboo therapy works should have been called bamboo therapy worked. Now, both are correct. Maybe he's talking about the fact that bamboo therapy works, and I realize now, and it's still continuing to work. So in that way, it might have been correct. Otherwise, I found you to be very observant, very detailed, and I absolutely loved your word of the day. I'm hoping that we can foster a lot of good relations if we remember that grammar is what is going to help us reflect upon our speeches the most. Thank you so much, Rizal. That was a wonderful role play indeed. Can we have a huge round of applause for him once again? Thank you so much. Now I would request our second role player, Arif, the timer, to please tell us about the timings he has not yet shared. By the way, he has already mentioned that all the table topic speakers are eligible. I would now request him to share with us the timings in detail of the evaluators and the speakers. Arif, are you there?
Hello everyone again. Good evening.
Good evening.
I don't know if you are noticing me or not. I've been showing time cards to you guys and sending personal messages like red, green, blue, red, green, yellow. Okay. So the timing report is the educational session from Ankur Yada. He took 15 minutes and 11 seconds. Speaker 1, Zahid Hossain, took 7 minutes and 18 seconds. Speaker 2, Nasima Yasmin, took 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Speaker 3, Naushin Nuri, took 5 minutes and 43 seconds. So coming to the evaluators, evaluator number 1, Gulam Dostokit Johnny, he took 3 minutes and 11 seconds. Evaluator number 2, Shamima Nasrin, took 3 minutes and 41 seconds. Evaluator 3, HP Dayaratne, took 3 minutes and 24 seconds. So coming to the table topics speakers, table topic speaker number 1, Toastmaster Chayon, took 1 minute and 44 seconds. Toastmaster Rahmatul Islam took 1 minute and 48 seconds. Toastmaster MD Sheikh Sadi took 1 minute and 34 seconds. Toastmaster Asadul Jaman took 1 minute and 40 seconds. Toastmaster Jamaluddin Jamie took 1 minute and 56 seconds. So that's all from me. So good evening again.
Arif, yes. Everyone is eligible or one evaluator is not eligible? I think for someone it was
one evaluator crossed the time.
Is everyone eligible?
11 seconds. Shamima Nasrin, she took 3 minutes and 41 seconds.
Okay. So apart from Shamima, everyone else is
one evaluator.
Yes, apart from Shamima, the other evaluators are eligible, all the speakers are eligible, and all the topic speakers are eligible. Thank you so much. Can we have a huge round of applause for Arif? That was very well done. And just a small little suggestion for Arif. I think you did a fabulous job. But to make your job easier, may I suggest that you use the timer cards that have been shared by district and just use that as a presentation and share that. So that will make it easier for you to control, and we can just have the timing cards displayed on the top because it's presentation which is being shared. That might make your job easier, but what you did today was absolutely fantastic, and thank you so much. Now moving on to our last role player, Ali Murtaza, the ah counter. So please tell us whether it was an ah meeting or an aha meeting today. Over to you, Ali. It's time for the ah counters report. Ya Ali Raham Ya Ali. I think I will sing that song to get him here. Can you please unmute Ali Murtaza, please? Is he here?
Ali Murtaza is unmuted.
Ali, you can start.
Yes, I can. Thank you, Toastmaster, General Evaluator. Are you hearing me all?
Absolutely, go on.
Okay, thank you. To foster our Toastmasters meeting, I can simply say we are at home worldwide. Good evening again, fellow Toastmasters. In educational session, Toastmaster Ankur Yada made no extra words or extra pauses, but there was an inappropriate pause. For prepared speakers, Speaker 1, M. Jahid Hussain, made 2 extra sounds and there was no inappropriate pause or word repetition. Speaker 2, Nasima Yasmin, made 2 extra words and there was no word repetition. Speaker 3, Naushin Nuri, she was clear, there was no extra words or extra sounds. And then for evaluation segment, evaluators 1, Gulam Dastagir Joni, he made 2 extra sounds and there was 2 times word repetition. Evaluation 2, Shamima Nasrin made 4 times a and there was 2 word repetition. Evaluation 3, SB Dayaratne made 1 time a. And for table topic session, Chayon made 1 time a. Table topic speaker 2, Rahmatul Islam Ridoy, made 3 times a. And the last 3 speakers, there were no mistakes. It was from me. Thank you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. And we have a huge round of applause for him, please. Very well done. I really liked the way you were very detailed in terms of not just mentioning about the speakers, but also mentioning their role. Just one suggestion, if you can be a little more specific. You mentioned about 3 people using are and how many times, but you also said something like extra words. So what is that? Like, so basically, actually, so as a R counter, you don't have to only count R's. That's just saying it like that. You have to count all the crutch words. So please keep a tab, basically, actually, like, so, all of that. Then we will know exactly what is our crutch word. If it is R, great. If it is not R, if it is something else, that also needs to be noticed. That having been said, you are absolutely diligent, and thank you so much. Can we have another round of applause for our wonderful role player?
Yay!
Yes, there's Ankur doing what he does best. Now, very quickly, to move on to the meeting, I would now evaluate the entire meeting. So to start off with, Arif as the Sergeant at Arms. Where is he? I think Arif as a Sergeant at Arms did it. He started the meeting very well. The meeting started, I think, 3.5, 4 minutes late, but that doesn't matter. We were all here and we were trying our best to do everything on time, and we were waiting for everyone to join. I think that was great. I saw that you had joined earlier and we were just waiting for the right opportunity. So in my opinion, you did great. And Arif, special mention for that background with that trophy. I love it. And I think you had a beautiful, beautiful start. Just one small little input. You mentioned the rules and everything very well, but you said our club mission. It's just yours. All of us as Toastmasters have the same club mission. So there I was a little confused if you had probably changed anything else, but otherwise, great job. Can we have a huge round of applause for the Sergeant at Arms, Arif? Fabulous, fabulous job. Then came the presiding officer, Firoz. Firoz, you are so detailed and you are so respectful. And for me, you were very thankful today. You thanked each and everyone. You paid careful attention to the designation. Mostly, I would say maybe there was one designation which was slightly incorrectly spelled. I also loved the way you described Nusrat. Beautiful, beautiful. You also acknowledged almost everyone. I think you probably missed Division N Director Smita. She was also a dignitary. Maybe you could have mentioned that, because you also mentioned Zahid, the Home Division Director. But I'm not sure if Smita was in the meeting room at that time. So that is something you can take care of. Also, one small little input, Firoz, you are such a dashing, dynamic young man. We needed to see you because seeing is believing. I missed that video camera. So get your Japanese technology right and get us that video camera, because we want to also see what's happening in the house of the big boss. Otherwise, Firoz, very well done. And thank you so much for arranging this and for presiding so beautifully. Can we have a huge round of applause for Firoz? I'm going to come to the Toastmaster of the day, Nusrat, and the table topic master a little later. But before that, I want to quickly tell you something about our special presentation today. Ankur, what do I say? Sharp, crisp, and effective. It's very, very difficult to deliver presentation on brand and end on time. And I think you did very well. You had a lot of, you had a combination of knowledge, comprehension, and application. So we were able to apply also because we were trying to guess. You had knowledge on the slides, you had comprehension because you asked us some very nice questions. I found it to be very, very well done. And I loved especially that particular slide about the fonts where you had the same thing mentioned in 2 different fonts. And through that example, you made us understand that seeing is believing, and that a picture is worth 1,000 words. So thank you for saving 1,000 words and making it short and making it so very effective. Absolutely, absolutely loved it. Can we have a huge round of applause for Ankur, please? Now, I would quickly move on to the speakers and the evaluators. They have all been evaluated, but I'll just give you a little bit about what I thought, starting off with the first speaker, Zahid, and the first evaluator, Johnny. So I think Zahid should be lucky that Fariha is not in the meeting room after all the, bureaucratic decision making that you have taken. I quite liked what you described here. You had a very personal story, and you also indirectly described the leadership styles. You mentioned these are the leadership styles. The only thing I felt you might not have done is I saw you referring to your laptop or some notes where you were reading the styles, which may have been avoided. And you also talked about stepping back sometimes. So you also, maybe need to step back. The role-playing portions were also very good. You were trying to play Fariha in a different manner. And then once Fariha just became like you. So that continuity was missing. Otherwise, from the way you handled the speech, it was very, very good. I really liked it. I thought you explained the democratic leader, your primary leadership style very, very well. In fact, I have multiple leadership styles. One of them is democratic. And I thought you did a fabulous, fabulous job. Can we have a huge round of applause for Zahid? Very personal, very effective. Well done. And now coming to his evaluator, Johnny, Ghulam Dostagir Johnny, or Johnny Bhai as I call him. I found you to, I actually was fascinated by your evaluation today because you were very detailed and you were noticing things to the minutest of details, which was wonderful and really very appreciative, worth appreciating that is. A couple of other things that I noticed about you is you mentioned a lot of things that will actually enhance the speech. For example, pausing, and the fact that you were confused, which I agree with, as to whether he is democratic or whether it is bureaucratic. So you brought the confusion not in a derogatory manner, but in a nice, humorous manner. At the end of the day, please understand, we are here to evaluate to motivate, not evaluate to demotivate. And I found your evaluation to be very motivating. The only advice I have for you is the second part of the evaluation sheet is what is the written feedback. You, I think, concentrated a little bit more on the written feedback part instead of the part on the leadership styles. You could have concentrated a little bit more on that. Otherwise, you managed to cover almost everything, and very well done. Can we have a round of applause for Johnny Bhai, please? Very, very well done. Now, there was a bit of a confusion about who was going to be a second speaker. So finally, I think Nasima came and Nasima spoke. And wow, Nasima, what a speech. Don't die before you are dead. Nasima, there were lots of things about your speech which I absolutely loved, and many of these things have been very effectively told by the evaluator, but let me also give you some of my points. I like the way you use the storytelling technique very well to talk about your early childhood. It's very, very important to understand what is the backstory. If you wouldn't have told us that wonderful story, I wouldn't have been able to understand why it was so difficult for you to be so different. This speech, I just had 3 words: daring, caring, sharing. Your speech showed us that you're such a caring person. As a child, from the fact that you cared about the birds and everything that your parents got you, to caring, you said you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, but that never took away the caring nature of you. You were so much caring that you actually went to Mumbai and took care of your ailing 6-year-old son, leaving behind your 1-year-old child, and still how caring you were at every point of time. You came across as a very caring individual. You also came across as a very daring individual because, honestly speaking, and I know the subcontinent in India and Bangladesh, and I'm sure in Nepal and Sri Lanka as well, for a mother, the child is most important. So you are very daring to take the decisions you took, and that really, really influenced me in a very important way. But most importantly, sharing. I loved the fact that you were sharing information with us. And there is where I feel you could have done a little more justice. For example, when you were sharing, maybe a few more details would have made your speech more vivid. For examples, when you are sharing your story, I would like to also see you telling the story. I don't want to just listen to it. So maybe you could have looked at the camera and smiled a bit more. You know, that would have brought that beautiful side of yours. When you were anxious, your voice modulation was very well done, you know, especially towards the end when you were getting scared. But I wanted to have your facial expressions also share the same kind of emotion. A few other small points, for example, when you had the mention about the birds, what kind of birds? Were they parakeets? Were they budgies? Were they pigeons? Were they lovebirds? It is in the beauty of the small details by which we can imagine the story better. For example, when you were in the United States and you mentioned that you were in this particular city and you lost your child. So what was the situation like? What was the 360-degree ways? Were you getting overwhelmed by the blaring of horns of the vehicles, etc.? So sharing minute details would have made your speech even better. That having been said, I thought this was a speech which was about getting feedback, and you delivered such a beautiful speech. It was very, very difficult for any of us to pinpoint, and maybe these are very pinpointing things, but you delivered a beautiful speech. Can we have a huge round of applause for that beautiful speech, please? And now to Shamima as the evaluator. Let me quickly move to her. Shamima, I thought your evaluation today was meaningful and relevant. You noticed all the right things. For example, the title. You also had this very specific example about vocal variety. Oh, where is my son? Oh, I should call the police. So that's a very good way of delivering an evaluation in which we understand what is it that needs to be done. So you are being very specific, which I absolutely loved. Just one particular suggestion. I think you took a lot of time, around 35 to 45 seconds, in appreciating the same thing again and again. Like, your title was very good. Can everyone applaud? Your title was very good. I felt this was your title. I thought that repetition could have been avoided because you had a lot of beautiful things to say. Maybe you could have added a few more points, especially because this speech was all about getting feedback. Otherwise, I think you did a fabulous job. Can we have a huge round of applause for the evaluator, please? Now, I just dropped that piece of paper, but our third speaker today was Nosheen, right? Nosheen Nuri, and wow, what a vivid speech, what descriptions. I absolutely loved the speech as a speech. It had all the elements of beautiful storytelling, story showing, all of that, and I really, really liked it. I also liked some of the messages you had. For example, you said that, what's the real problem? You have to identify the real problem. And then you actually had suggestions that maybe we are lazy, maybe it's our willpower which is at fault. The only point I had was about your speech. This speech was about a proposal. And your proposal, I think that came a little too late into the speech. I think it took around 4.5 minutes for the proposal to come through. I would have preferred if the speech was mostly about the proposal. That way, I would have known whether you are able to completely fulfill the objectives. As a speech, it was brilliant. It was superb. It was outstanding. But as a speech with a proposal, I felt it could have been a little bit more detailed in terms of the proposal exactly. And apart from that, I really absolutely loved your gorgeous use of language. Your language was beautiful. So all the elements of a great speaker, but maybe the proposal and the call to action could have come a little bit stronger. I was a little confused as to what was the problem. Was it us being lazy? Was it our willpower? Was it not having time? So that is what I wanted to do. Now quickly to come to our final evaluator, Daya Ratne. Where is he? So Daya Ratne, you are a DTM, and today in your evaluation that was very, very relevant. You had very detailed evaluations. You were very observant. You appreciated the speech appropriately, and you also mentioned some things from the objectives. However, I thought your recommendations were a little mixed. You also mentioned about the percentage of the proposal very well, but sometimes we are told to evaluate the speech and not the speaker, or evaluate the content based on what content is there. I absolutely love the way you had said that, maybe you could have included this as well, but maybe if you could have stuck your evaluation to what was already delivered, it could have been even more effective. But I understand that you come from a place where you want to give a lot of extra points. So in that respect, it was absolutely gorgeous and fabulous. Thank you so much, Dayaratne, for the great evaluation. Can we have a round of applause for Dayaratne, please? Now, before I come to the Toastmaster of the day, I will have to talk about the table topic master, Saurabh Lohani. Where is our friend from Nepal? Saurabh, I absolutely loved what you did today with the flag of Nepal at the back. I love the way you are ensuring that everything is represented. You spoke so well, so clearly. Your topics were so easily understood. You make the speakers feel very, very comfortable when they came on stage. And for that, I want to applaud you. You were very good. You also ensured, you mentioned about the voting, you mentioned the names of all the speakers. You did everything so well that I thought the table topic was taken to a very different level altogether. Like, you ensured, can you please unmute? Can we do this? Can we do that? Overall, I thought you were a fabulous, fabulous role player today as a table topic master. Can we have a huge round of applause for Saurabh Lohani? And now very quickly for the speakers themselves. Choyan, you had a speech called If You Could Fly Somewhere, and you talked about aircrafts not flying, and you talked about flights of fancy. Your speech had a lot of different elements. I think you covered the topic in a 360-degree manner, and you did very well. Next came Rohimitul Islam. 3 things you would suggest doing during lockdowns. Unfortunately, I don't know about you guys, I had some problem listening to you due to the audio connectivity or the network connectivity. I could not hear all of it. I really liked, however, spending quality time with family. Very relevant, very important. Then our third speaker spoke about favorite food and the best way to eat it. And I liked all that body language and voice modulation that you had. But I thought you missed the part about how to eat it. So you talked about chicken, but maybe we could have got some recipes. Do you eat it boiled? Do you eat it fried? I don't think so. You eat it as a part of a chicken salad. That is something I was missing. So maybe you can look about that, Shirish. And then we had Asadul Zaman. What will you do as soon as the lockdown was lifted? take a deep breath, meet people in person, go to Nepal, Bhutan, Maldives, all of that, attend a district conference. I thought you had a lot of beautiful elements in your speech, so it came one after another in a chronological, logical sequence. And I obviously think you have a very clear way of thinking, so that was very well done. And finally, we had Jami. Where is Jamaluddin Jami? Your speech was about a vivid childhood, and that bamboo therapy is going to be very vivid in my mind. I don't know where that bamboo hit, but I'm already feeling very scared. I don't want that bamboo to hit me. But I don't know about all of you guys, but today there was one person who ensured that there was no bamboo business anywhere. And that was our Toastmaster of the day, the angelic, the beautiful, the lovely Nusrat. Where are you, Nusrat? Thank you so much for being the Toastmaster of the
Yes,
day.
I'm here.
In such an efficient, beautiful, lovely, lovely way. Even though you have a devilish person somewhere behind you looking at a camera, such things happen. But you were being angelic at all times, from your dress to taking a
Thank
break
you.
for a very pious religious reason, taking permission for it. You think you ticked all the right boxes about how a Toastmaster of the day should function. One of the key aspects of the Toastmaster of the day is to understand when things are going wrong and try to get them back on track. I loved it when you did that, when one of the speakers was not there, so you kind of got the other person to come in. So all in all, very, very well done. And thank you so much for playing your role so effectively. I think all role players today have done a marvelous job. So I believe enough light has been shining, and now it's time to take off, and back to you, Nusrat, to take the meeting forward and maybe pass it to the presiding officer. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Ayanda. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow, what a wonderful, beautiful, detailed report. I'm sure all our role takers have learned something or the other, have some takeaway from this meeting today. Thank you so much, Distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal, for that report. Okay, so we have come almost towards the end of our meeting today, and let me remind you all, the voting form has been shared in the chat box. I request all of you to kindly vote for your best speaker, best evaluator, best table topic speaker, and best role taker in the form. And the results will be announced by Toastmaster Firoz in a while. And so what a wonderful way to bridge the gaps and cross boundaries with such beautiful speeches and evaluations. Truly, Toastmasters is our only respite during our quarantine days. Let's hold on to this wonderful community. Let's keep learning, sharing, and growing in our quest for personal growth and development. And let's keep bridging gaps and crossing boundaries. I would now request our Area L1 Director, Toastmaster Firoz Shah, to take over from here and conclude our meeting today. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Toastmaster Firoz.
Hello.
Yes, we are listening. We are not listening. We are not listening.
Assalamualaikum Firoz bhai, আমরা তো শুনতে পাচ্ছি না. We are not listening your voice.
Firoz bhai শুনতে পাচ্ছি না.
We are not listening your voice. We are not hearing.
Now it's okay.
Now it's okay. Yeah, please go.
Now it's okay?
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Nusrat, Huda, for conducting today's online meeting very nicely and so wonderfully. Once again, I thanks to all the district officers and the members of District 41 for participating wholeheartedly to make today's online meeting a grand success. So I think how the result, Toastmaster Nusrat, can I get the result of the winners? Hello?
Yes, yes,
Hello?
yes. We have the results already.
Can you declare on behalf of me, because I cannot see in my screen?
Yes, sure. Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, so The certificates will be mailed out to each winner individually. We will do it at the end of this meeting today, but I will declare the results. The best speaker for today's meeting, the best prepared speaker today is Toastmaster Muhammad Zahid Hussain, the Division L Director. Congratulations, Toastmaster Zahid. Best speaker for the day. And the best evaluator for today's meeting, we had two distinguished Toastmasters fighting each other for the spot of the best evaluator. And the winner for today's best evaluator's position is Distinguished Toastmaster HB Dayaratne. Congratulations, Distinguished Toastmaster HB Dayaratne. The best, yes, I think I just missed this one. Okay, let me announce the best role taker. Okay, the best role taker. I can't. The best role taker amongst table topic master, TMOD, and general evaluator, of course, without any doubt, goes to Distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal, who played a fabulous role as general evaluator. Congratulations, congratulations. And the best, okay, can I have the best table topic speaker result again, please? Requesting the Sergeant at Arms. Best table topic speaker. Okay, the best table topic speaker is Toastmaster Jamaluddin Jami. Is he here with us? I think he stayed back till the end of the meeting. Congratulations, Toastmaster Jamaluddin Jami. Fabulous speech there. And finally, the best auxiliary role taker amongst timer, grammarian, and accounter goes to Toastmaster Muhammad Arif as the timer for today's evening. Congratulations to all the winners. Thank you. Toastmaster Firoz,
Yes,
please end the
can you
meeting today.
hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Nusrat Huda. Actually, today's meeting main theme was bridging gaps and breaking boundaries. What do you think, all of you, that have you broken the boundaries by joining such online meeting with multinational, likely from Bangladesh, Nepal, India, and Sri Lanka also. So I again congratulate to all the winners and big claps for all the participants from the District 41. Big clap, please. And finally, at the hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
we can
listen.
hear you.
Carry on,
Yes.
carry on.
Finally, I'd like to request to all of you that coronavirus is hitting in this subcontinent very rapidly. So my earnest request to all of you, please take care yourself and also look after in your family members. Finally, I wish all of you are safe and please stay home. Thank you very much. Thanks to all of you again.
Thank you, Firoz bhai.
Thank you.
Yes, now
Thank you so much.
conclude, adjourn the meeting, today's online meeting. Thank you very much to all of you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so it's time to take leave. Thank you so much, Ayanda, for staying till the end. And thank you to all our members from
Thank you
Division
so
L.
much, everyone. Thank you.
I can see our area L5
Thank you,
director.
Ayanda. Thank you, Ayanda, for your valuable time.
He was
Thank you.
beginning. Thank you so much for joining.
And I enjoyed the session. Thank you, Nusrat Apu. Thank you, Dostagir bhai. Thank you, other DTM
you.
Daratne and our area director. Firoz
Thank
bhai.
you,
Thank you, everyone.
L5 director, L2 director, L4 director, L1 director.
All the directors are
L3
today except Rukhsana.
L3 director.
No, I have a question. You know, all the directors are here. Where is the movie?
Yes.
We need the movie.
And my
Movie is already done, Ayanda.
listeners are
Movie is already
waiting
done.
for long, but Ayanda promised me to stay here with his dynamic